Okay, welcome to my channel. This is another story. Like I said before in the other videos, I have nothing to talk about lately, so I'll be sharing stories about, about me, whatever kind of stories. This one is about the first time I got hooked onto manga. Now, manga is Japanese. Maybe I'm just saying this wrong, but I always get some people always correct me. I'd say it's not true. I don't know. Manga is Japanese comic books, I believe. So I this is how it started. I was in high school. Yeah, I think I was like 10th grade. That's when I started because I met this girl uh, in the bus stop. So the thing is that I told her that, oh, what a nice bag you had. She had a backpack plus another bag that you had to like carry right here on the side only. And that one had I think it was Sailor Moon or something similar like that with a bunch of girls on it. So I asked her, "Oh, you like that too?" Because I used to watch that when I was younger. She says, "Oh yeah, I got this wherever she told me because I don't remember. It was a long time ago." And so we started talking about it because the damn bus was taking forever. So um, I didn't even know there were like it's like I don't know if you call them comic books. See, the reason why I'm saying this because I don't know what to call them. I know they're called mangas, but if I okay, I'll just mangas then. Thing is that this is how I got hooked onto them. I met her. We talked about our favorite cartoons from Japan. Anime. I told her when I was younger, the first one I guess like a lot of us can relate to is maybe you can relate to too is Pokemon. Like the first one we kind of grew up with. So I grew up with that, but honestly, I didn't really I wasn't such a fan of Pokemon. Now I told you a story before about how just that little one time I was like, I don't say hooked onto Pokemon cards, but it's just a time where I got Pokemon cards just like a lot of people have. Well, with this is that it did go overboard for me. I didn't get a lot of manga books, but I would go to different stores and try to find these books because not a lot of places they will have them. I would go to thrift store places because I usually would go to thrift stores and buy things there like books and CDs and stuff. And the thing is that she started telling me, "Oh, go to a Chinatown or another place around Chinatown. I think it was like a place called Little Tokyo or something. I never went there to check for those comic books or those mangas. Well, what happened was that yeah, I kept buying and buying. Um, One that actually now don't like it anymore. I kept buying one called Fruits Fruit Bas. I forgot, man. It was a long time ago. Fruit of baskets of fruit. I forgot something like that. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it, but I kept reading it. I guess I kind of found it a bit funny. I don't really remember what this was about. Something about that they have horoscopes and their animals or something. Well, the thing is that I kept buying that the first volume, second, then third, fourth. Think I stopped until the eighth or seventh, and then I stopped buying them. Then I got buying that sort of manga, and then I went into another one, which I honestly forgot which one. It was one I found at a thrift store, and then I started finding them in different stores too, different bookstores. I think it was a weird one too. It was about one where this guy got into a car accident, and so they gave him a surgery because the car accident really messed up his whole face. So they gave him like a female face, something like that, and it is kind of perverted. Like you know how you see a lot of animes where there's all kinds of like goofy things going on, and the perverted stuff. Like I mean, like it shows like the girls' not body parts. I mean, they just show them like if they're half naked or something. Well, I don't remember what other mangas, but thing is, that I was hooked on it, not like crazy, because I have met some people they were crazier than I was. that they would just buy and buy and buy. And those books are expensive. They're like $10, $12, depending on how or what kind of manga they are. But I kept buying it. I kept going and buying it because I think I would get money from. I think I would save up money, and then sometimes I would get money for my birthday, then Christmas, or sometimes when relatives came over, family members like grandparents or uh, aunts, they would come over and they would give me a little something, not all the time, but they would give me, and I would save up just a bit of it. Well, I would save up a little more to like know like I had, let's say, at least like 40, $50 of it saved up of the money I have. And then I will go spend honestly all that 40, $50 just on the books because they will be like $10 each. Well, I stopped doing that years ago, honestly, because it's just a very. I like it, but not anymore. I don't think I'm even sure if I even liked that when I was like really enjoyed it. I don't think I was like that. I met some students like that when I was in high school because since I got hooked on when I was in high school, they every day talking about it, talking about have you read the new volume of I don't know, some manga called something about angels, and it was like, so I don't remember, but the thing is that they would go, oh yeah, I read that one, but I'm going back because I'm getting confused at this part. Then others were talking about that they would read the manga of Dragon Ball Z or something, and the thing is that I did started noticing, realizing that, I know it's I shouldn't buy them anymore because yeah, but then I mean once I read it, because the thing you could read honestly in a day, maybe in a couple of hours you could read that because it's not that big, the books. So honestly, you could read one of those whole for maybe an hour or so. You could finish it. So, but I was getting out of control one time because not in a way like I'm going crazy or nothing, but this is why I kept going to different stores, finding not only the mangas but DVDs. I will go to video stores. I will go to stores like Best Buy. I mean, now they have all this, but before they didn't have them that much. I'll go to Best Buy, Target, where else? All those stores where they sell electronic stuff. I don't know, but I will go to so many places and I would ask, do you have this DVD? And they don't know what I'm talking about. I'm saying, do you have the. I was usually looking for Sailor Moon DVDs, I remember. Because because now on the internet you can look up anything. Now sometimes on YouTube they have things. But the thing is that uh I was hooked on it. I was like desperately wanted to find something. Like DVDs or and then one time I thought about getting a little like action figure, not action figure, I mean some like little figurines to just like put somewhere. Then I wanted to get bags like handbags, backpacks. So I was looking for places and think the good thing is that I never bought any of these things, but in my mind I kept thinking I need to have that because I kept seeing other students having that. It's good I didn't go that crazy, to be honest. I didn't like actually buy that stuff. I never, bought like like weapons and stuff like that. Like have you seen South Park that that episode where I guess I don't remember how they get hooked onto those weapons, but then they get hurt themselves with like the all these Japanese weapons. But I remember in high school there was a girl who had one. It was a little like I don't remember how big the sword was. Maybe like 10 inches. It was a sword that she had with the protected like case on it and like a cover on it, but it was like sort of like a metal cover. And she would have it hanging in her backpack, and those kinds of things I would see, and I would go, "Whoa, it's good I'm not like that crazy." I mean, my parents, no, they never said anything about it. They never said anything like, "Oh, you shouldn't be buying this stuff." I think they were just happy for me that I was reading because honestly, I guess that's how I started reading more again because I used to read when I was younger, but then I stopped reading. But then when I got into high school, I read more because of that. Then after I decided I don't want to read mangas anymore, I decided to actually start reading some books. I don't remember what kind of books, but some dumb teenager books. You know how now they have books about witches and all these monsters that it always mixes with love and all that stuff in relationships. I never got into that. I think I only read one when I was like 14, 15 years old. And honestly, didn't finish it, to be honest. I don't remember what book it was. And I decided not to read that. Instead, I started, what was this thing I got hooked on? I think it was just some other kind of stories, but I don't remember what though. But the thing is that, I'll end this video because the point is that I guess I wasn't that nuts. I was just, I guess, like everybody else. Everybody, like with kids now, they see toy commercials on TV. They want it. I mean, I guess not a lot of kids now want toys. Maybe they do, but it's mostly electronics, video games and stuff like that. But that's all I want to share. This is the other story I'm talking about that I wasn't as crazy with mangas, but still, I'm not, I'm not anymore. I guess the only thing I want to do is one day in the future is get hooked on more with animes, with shows. Watching some that already have been, that I guess some popular ones that I need to get back on, probably watch from the beginning, but it's not really something that I'm rushing into. So if you like the story, give it a thumbs up, comment below of anything you want. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and have a good weekend and bye.